What's going on, everybody? Just a quick little tutorial on how to do an oil change on the 5th gen Ram and everything you're going to need to buy. Alright, so as far as tools, oil, everything I went with, I bought the Pennzoil Platinum Full Synthetic 5W20. The manual says that it requires 7 quarts. Pretty good price, it seemed to be the more popular one. I also bought an oil swivel filter wrench just to get in that tough to reach place because it's really hard to get in there. The most popular oil filter that I found for our truck would be the Wix, the full synthetic oil filter. I bought just a quick little funnel, a couple bucks. I also bought this little oil drain valve. It just makes it very easy to drain the oil when I do it next time. I didn't end up putting this on. They sent me the wrong part number, and before I knew it, it was just a little bit too late. Other than that, I got some gloves just to keep my hands clean. I got a 13mm wrench just because it's really hard to get a socket back in there. And we just grabbed a little oil drainer storage container. Other than that, that's pretty much all. Let's get it going. Something I didn't really think about when I was lifting my truck, mind you it's only 3.5 inch lift, was the fact that working on the engine would be so hard. I'm 5'9", so I could barely reach. So if you're shorter than me, you may want to get yourself a little step stool. It could be a pain in the butt, but I don't have to jack the truck up to do the oil change, so that's kind of a plus. I know this may be super basic for most, but don't forget to take off the oil cap just so you could have a little bit better flow for when you do drain the oil. Gives it a better flow path. Also, I have a Morimoto oil catch can, so I'll be checking to see for the first time how much oil is actually going to be coming out of that as well. So taking off the oil drain plug, it was kind of a pain in the butt to do. I was trying to muscle it. Eventually I just put 2 wrenches together to give myself a little bit of leverage, and it just popped right off perfectly. If you aren't sure how to do that, just pause the video. You can see sometimes it can be a little tricky to get the 2 wrenches together, but it's definitely beneficial. As you can see, the drain plug is in a horrible spot. It creates a big time mess. So I just pick up the container as close to it as I can. That way I could figure out where the oil is going to flow down, and then I'll slowly bring it down to the ground. It doesn't make too much of a mess. It actually kind of polishes up, the black underneath there when you wipe it down. I'm very anal about everything, so I give everything a wipe down, and I don't want to leave oil anywhere just in case an oil leak did happen. I would know where exactly it's coming from. So once all the oil drains out, give it a little bit of time, let the last couple drops come out, wipe everything down really nice, make sure everything is clean in there before you put the oil drain plug back in. Tighten it down. I tightened it down pretty much hand tight, gave it a nice little snug turn on it. Wiped everything down, cleaned everything up, and I just want to show you guys something I left out is the gallon Ziploc bag. I'll get a little more into that when we get to that stage, but for now I'm just showing you just a kind of an easy way to get the oil filter wrench in there. I attacked it from the front and swiveled the head around and kind of maneuvered it around the harnesses that are in there, and you'll get it to a point where you can very slowly turn it until you can break it loose, and then we'll get into the gallon bag, wrap it around there, and slowly take off the filter just to create as little of a mess as we possibly can with oil. Alright, so with the bag, it's very important that you do this very slow. Get it all the way around, pull it through. the more up in there you can get it around everything, the less of a mess you're gonna make. Otherwise, I've seen videos, oil gets all over everything and everywhere. So just tuck it all up in every little angle. You could tuck it up in the front and kind of spin it around, and then tuck it up in the front again, and it'll just wrap around it. So this is the part that can get a little bit tricky if you don't take your time. So you're gonna be spinning that oil filter, obviously counterclockwise, to get it loose. But as you're doing it, the bag is gonna wanna spin with you. So you have to, about 1/4 inch to an inch at a time, spin it, straighten out the bag, spin it, straighten out the bag. And you're gonna keep doing that and doing that and doing that until finally the filter pops off in the bag. If you do rush this step, the bag will bind up on you, and it's most likely gonna create even a bigger mess than what it would have been without the bag. So just continue to slowly turn it, bring the bag around, slowly turn it, bring the bag around. Finally, the oil filter will drop in there, and then as you can see, I have like a drop or two of oil that landed on anything. So it's definitely beneficial. Again, make sure you clean all excess oil. When you do screw the oil filter on, you don't want the gasket to leak or anything, so make sure everything's nice and dry before you tighten anything down. Go ahead and put that oil filter on. With the oil filter, I didn't even use the wrench, I just hand tightened it. Again, gave it a nice snug tighten with my hand, and that's pretty much all it needs. Once you have the oil drain plug screwed in, you got the new oil filter screwed on, make sure everything's nice and tight, and then we'll start to put the new oil in the engine. Again, these are super basic steps, but I'm just going over everything just in case maybe it's somebody's first time changing oil, they don't leave anything out. Go ahead and put the oil cap back on, and like I said before, I'm super anal, so I'm gonna wipe everything down, just make sure there's no oil on anything or anything that drips down on the engine that can cause like some smoke or anything. So this is the first oil change I've done on this truck. It's been about 4,000 miles. I only bought this oil catch can because when I put the intake on, I noticed a lot of oil in the intake, so I figured it couldn't hurt. It did catch a pretty decent amount of oil. I'm not sure if that would hurt the engine or not, but I'm better safe than sorry. It doesn't really hurt anything except my wallet. And that wraps it up for this video. Thankfully, I just beat the rain, but there's one final thing I do want to show you guys. First off, you're gonna have to put the truck in run mode, so you'll turn the truck completely off, hit the start button twice, put it in run mode so we can change the oil life indicator. You're gonna use the arrows to go to the vehicle info page. Once you get to oil life, by pressing to the right or left, you're gonna hold down OK until it resets. And that wraps up the video. I hope it helps you guys in any way. If you have any questions whatsoever, please write them below. I'm also going to be giving away this K&N oil filter. To win it, just comment below. Tell me a little bit about the truck you drive. I'm going to be picking a winner once I hit 50 subscribers. Y'all have a good one.